So I have been selling online since 2015. I started with an Etsy shop and eventually I graduated to a Shopify store. And over the years, I've learned a lot about Shopify and how to start and manage your own e-commerce store on the platform. So you all know I do have a candle making and business course called Craftybase Academy, and I have taught over 500 people how to start making candles and creating their own candle business. In this video, I wanted to give you some pointers on how you can create your own Shopify store and drive traffic to it. So let's get into it. So let's start off with the basics. What is Shopify? So Shopify is an e-commerce platform where you can build your own website and have a more custom branded experience, and you can really do a lot more than you would be able to do on Etsy as far as making your website really unique to you and convenient for your customers and shoppers and all of that. So it's just really a website builder. So the reason you would want Shopify in addition with Etsy is because something I hear a lot about, especially when customers are buying from Etsy, when they're showing off a new product or something, let's say they buy one of these little things on there, someone's gonna say, well, where did you get that? And then usually a person will say, I got it on Etsy, instead of saying, well, I got it from Winding with Candles or wherever. So if you really want to create a standout brand, creating a Shopify store in your own personal website is kind of a step into that direction. So that's one reason people want to create a Shopify website. And another big reason is ownership of your own audience. So on sites like Etsy and Amazon Handmade, you can't collect emails. You really can't create a relationship with the customers because those customers belong to Etsy or Amazon. So it's really hard to get repeat customers and retain your customer base on Etsy. And those types of platforms. So if you wanted to build your own website, and if you want to create an email list where you can reach out to the customers directly, creating something like a Shopify store is the way to go so that you can build those relationships. So many times a customer will buy something from Etsy, and when you ask them, where did they get that from? They'll say, I got it from Etsy, instead of telling you the actual name of the brand. So if you're looking to create a memorable brand, you're going to need a custom website. And the first step to a custom website is a custom domain. So today's video is sponsored by .store domains. .store is a domain name that is specifically for e-commerce brands. So there is no need to create some hypothetical non-optimized URL. You can just go with a .store domain to keep it simple and memorable for your customer base. If you're curious to see some examples of .store domains, you can see that the very popular chat server Discord uses a .store domain, and the luxury airline Emirates also sells their branded products on a .store domain. There are also a ton of YouTubers like Mark Rober, Zach King, and even Dude Perfect that use a .store domain. I named some celebrities, influencers, and big brands, but .store domains is also perfect for us everyday online sellers. 1 million sellers have already placed their trust in .store. Just a few examples here are this company, www.blacktaylor.store, that gets over 120K in traffic every month, and Cabinet Door, a family-owned company based in North Dakota, ranks first on Google for the exact keyword as its domain name. You can find your .store domains on GoDaddy, Namecheap, or website builders like Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, or even buy it directly from their website, www.get.store. In today's video, I'm showing you how to create a Shopify store for your brand, so you can definitely get a .store domain to create your Shopify store. So you can get a discount for your first year by using my coupon code on www.get.store. Just search for the domain of your choice, add it to the cart, and use my coupon code TianaStore to get a .store domain at just 99 cents for the year. All right, so the first step in creating a Shopify store is signing up with Shopify, obviously, and they have a free trial for you. I believe it's 14 days, so I'm gonna put the link down below if you wanted to do a free trial of Shopify. Don't start your free trial unless you are ready to set everything up, just so that gives you time to start driving traffic to the store. But go ahead and sign up for the free trial if you haven't already. All right, so once you sign up for your Shopify trial, the fun part is picking a theme. So when you go to online stores, you're gonna have a section here that says themes, and you can see I have my current theme here, and I have some different themes that I've used over the years. So to get a theme, you're gonna go to add theme, and visit theme library. And then from here, they have tons of themes to choose from. They have free themes and they have paid themes. So I would suggest, if you have the budget, to go ahead and get a paid theme and make sure that it checks all of the boxes for you, because switching themes isn't like a huge deal, especially on Shopify, but it can get a little bit tricky, when it gets complicated. So just make sure the theme checks all of your boxes that you need for an online store, but there are tons to choose from. So depending on your theme, you can customize it when you hit the little custom section there. And again, it's pretty intuitive and simple to customize a Shopify theme, and each theme is going to be different depending on how the theme was made. So you may see some things here on my theme that you might not see on yours. So it just really depends on the theme you purchase, and it's really like drag and drop, pretty simple. And you can get a little bit more complex, and if you are familiar with doing HTML or any coding, you can do like some additional coding to make your theme even more customized. Now, if you're curious on how I do my menu, it's really important to have like a decent menu and make sure it's really organized and it looks professional. If you're curious on how I do that, you can do that over here in the navigation section of Shopify, and you can create menus. So all you would do is add a menu, and then you can create different categories, and these are things you can set up when you are doing your product listing, which I'll show you how a product listing looks in just a second. And then your main menu is going to be your menu at the top of the page here, so you can organize that how you'd like. So you can see I have two different menus, and that's because one menu is for wholesale, but that's a whole different video. But you can create menus super easily on Shopify by adding the menu. So let's click into one of my menus here, and this is how you do it here. So you can add a menu. If you want to add a menu item, you can click that, and then you would have the links here. So it's really simple. You can make a menu with different collections or different pages, different blog posts, and things like that. So the pages are in the pages section here. So let's take a look at one of my pages. So like an About Us page is probably everything or something that everyone has. So you can easily create a menu item here for an About Us page. So this is mine, and the About Us page can be edited in the pages section. And so when you're creating a menu, you can add that About Us page, add menu item, you can name it About Us, and then click the section down here, the drop down, and add pages. And then this is where all of your pages are going to be at, and then you can easily add that. And that's kind of how you would build your menu out in Shopify. All right, so let's take a look at an actual listing and how I would suggest you build it out so that your website can stay organized. So again, we have the strawberry candle here, and actually this should say dessert. Strawberry shortcake dessert candle, because we want that descriptive keyword for SEO purposes. And then you're going to have your description. So nowadays Shopify actually generates like AI descriptions for you to make it super simple. So make sure you put the description here. And if you're thinking about SEO, you want your descriptive keyword. So for me is dessert candle. So that's kind of what these are here. These are my dessert candles. And then your price here. And so this is just kind of how you fill that out. So in the inventory section, you can track your quantities. You can do a SKU. That's really optional. The SKU and barcode, those aren't necessary. Those are just things that I use for my storefront. And then the physical product. So make sure you weigh the product out and put that here. And if you have any variants. And so what I really like is you can change the search engine listing. So this is what's going to show up in Google. So you can actually change this how you would like it. So if you wanted to say dessert candle bestseller, you can add that just like this, and it would change it in Google, which is really cool. And so this is another way that you can optimize your listing for search engine optimization. So you want to make sure that the product is active if you want it to be shown on your website. And then publishing. So I have a lot of sales channels. Yours might only say online store, but since I sell on other places, that's why mine has this section here, but yours might just say online store, and that is your sales channel. and then give you some insights. And this is the important part here, product organization. So you want to create collections, and how you can do that is going to products and collections, and from there you can create your different collections. So for me, you can say wax melts, candles, things like that. So if you're a candle seller, you would want to have a different collection for each type of product you have. So for me, this is in the all candles collection, but it's also in the dessert candle collection and the featured products collection. And then for tags, I also just say it's a candle. And then for themes, you can leave it like the default product. So the reason you want collections is because when you're organizing your website, you can create the different categories here. And then as you add products to your Shopify store, they will automatically go into these different collections, if that makes sense. So let's actually look at a collection so I can show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. So here's the dessert candle collection, and you can put your keyword here, which is dessert candles, a little snippet of what exactly a dessert candle is. So as you add candles to your product list, and if you put that it's in the dessert candle collection, it'll automatically update on your website, and then it'll keep your website really organized. So I know you heard me talking a little bit about search engine optimization, or SEO, just a second ago, so I'm going to explain a little bit more of why you would want to consider that. So in Google, I typed in dessert candles, which is kind of my main niche. And when you scroll down, you're going to see some candles that fall within that niche. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you will see my website. I just saw it pop up here. So winding wick candles on page 1 of Google. So the way I did that was through search engine optimization. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So it's really important to create collections. And one day I decided to SEO optimize my store. So I started to look at how these stores were getting on page 1 of Google, and I noticed that a lot of what I was seeing were collections. So Google does categorize collections. So again, we talked a little bit about that, but these are different collections, and you want to SEO optimize your collection. So if you want to be seen when someone types in dessert candles, then you need a dessert candle collection on your website. If you're someone who does literary candles, you need a literary collection on your website. So that is how I got onto this page, because this is a collection. So you want to keep that in mind. So make sure again that you're using your collections. And another interesting tip that I have noticed is through blog posts. So I'm going to show you a little bit how you can do that on Shopify. So if you go to online store, you're going to see a section for blog posts. Now you don't have to be some professional blogger, and you can see here I don't have a lot of blog posts here, but that's one way you can also optimize your website is through blog posts. So if you wanted to create blog posts that were about dessert candles or whatever candle niche you're in, you can say why dessert candles are unique in the marketplace. You can do a few blog posts that include dessert candles and talking about your dessert candles in that sense, and really getting some SEO optimized blog posts. Now again, this is just for SEO optimization. You don't have to be a professional blogger and put out a post every week, but just be a little bit strategic. I'm going to show an example of someone who does that really well. Now this is a website called Mythology Candles, and I absolutely love how niche they are and their branding. But one thing I noticed is they do have a blog. So if you scroll down to their blog, they have these blog posts here, but to you, you may think that it's kind of a waste of time. But if you think about it, you know, people on the internet, they still read blogs, and if they come across any of these posts, it'll link back to their actual Shopify store. So what that means is every blog post is another piece of SEO that you're putting out into the world, and when you click on it, if someone from somewhere clicks on it, then they will be linked back to the Shopify store and they may become a customer. So you can utilize the blog post section in Shopify to optimize your SEO. All right, so another way that you can customize your Shopify store is through apps. Now, apps can get a little bit crazy, and you don't want to install a ton of apps on your Shopify because A, they can be expensive. A lot of them cost money. And then B, it'll slow down your store if you have way too many apps. So here are some apps that I recommend. So first of all, we're in the Shopify app store, and so this is where you can browse and look for apps, but I'm going to show you some of the apps that I have in my app store. And to be honest, I don't use all of these, but the ones that I really use are going to be the Privy app. So this is where you can collect those emails, and you can see here, I'm really bad with emails, to be honest. So I have generated $6,000 from emails, and I'm bad at emails. So you can see how good that having an email list can be for your Shopify store. So I have the Privy app. So another great app to use is judge.me. I have been using it for years, and this is how I'm able to collect these customer reviews on my website. So able to retain your customers and to even gain the trust of new customers, it's really nice to have reviews on your products so that customers can actually see that you're a legitimate business and that you're actually selling products. So having judge.me has been really, really awesome to get these customer reviews on my website. So installing apps is really easy. So if you wanted to add any app, you would find the app in the Shopify app store, and you would click on the app and kind of read the reviews and the terms and everything, and all you do is click add app. So it's just that easy, and then all of the apps that you add to your Shopify are going to be in this app section here, and then you can kind of go through and see all of your apps, click into each one, and then kind of customize the apps from there. So here's Privy, and then you can customize your little pop-up campaigns. You can see all the email contacts and everything like that. So that's how you would install and manage the apps within Shopify. So hopefully that gave you some tips on how to create a custom optimized Shopify store for your brand. And don't forget, again, if you're looking for a domain, to head over to www.get.store to get a discount for 1 year on your custom domain for your site. So I hope you enjoyed the tips, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.